lot of people that race, they're like 13:30 5K guys. They're a lot faster than I've ever run. I only have a 5K PR of 14 minutes and 28 seconds, but on the roads, it's such a different beast. I'm already sitting in the top 80 of marathoners in the US, the youngest guy amongst the group, and I think there's so much room for growth in between training and fueling that I could slowly work my way up there. That hard work and almost blue-collar mentality that comes from an area that you don't really have a lot of training partners. You have to drive 25 minutes for a track. Our area is definitely not made for runners, but working around that, finding a singular partner does help, but it's still a struggle. I do so much of my mileage alone, and I think that's a lot different because a lot of these pros, they're in these giant training groups. They'll have 10 guys and they're all 13-minute 5K guys, and that's just not me. I'm different in that regard, but still competitive. I run 2:14 for the marathon, and I really do think there's another 6 or 7 minutes I could find in there. And especially over the marathon, it's such a volatile distance that in these championship races, if it goes out a little hot, a lot of the guys will come back and I'll be able to catch them. And I think that's why in 2028 that I could be competitive in the top 20 or so at the trials.
Mike,
Hello.
let's talk about Atlanta.
So March 1st, I raced the Atlanta Publix Half Marathon, also the US Half Marathon Championship. It was quite the experience getting humbled by people that good, people that are professional runners. I raced a couple big names such as Wesley Kiptoo, Ahmed Muhammad, Hillary Bohr, and recent 204 marathoner Charles Hicks. Warm-up feels really good. I warm up 3 miles. The nerves start to kick in though as I'm waiting in the bathroom line because we had to be ready to walk over to the start line 15 or 20 minutes out before the start of the race. We walk over with the elite coordinator, and I'm actually walking over with Ahmed Muhammad, professional runner for Hoka that we talked about before, and we had a great conversation about one of his former teammates from Florida State University. At the time, I didn't know who he was, so I felt a little unprepared trying to have this conversation, but it definitely helped calm my nerves to have someone that fast be that calm. So we walk over and I'm doing some strides, and then we get called up to the line. We load in the women first, and then we get loaded in front of them because we went off before them. The gun goes off and the vibes are high. It starts downhill, so you kind of get out a little bit quicker than you'd expect. And then the grind begins. The hills start to roll. You're going up and you're going back down for 2 miles. I get to mile 9 and I'm like, oh man, I've never raced up a hill that hard. And although the ambiance was crazy, because we're back in the downtown at this point, there's nothing really much I can do. I'm giving it my best and I'm running 5:20, 5:30 pace up this hill, absolutely struggling. So we roll back downhill for mile 10, miles 11 and 12, absolute struggle again. And then the 13th mile was clutch. It was downhill. Really appreciated that. I was able to close really, really fast there. But the biggest takeaway from this race was what made headlines all across the country. A pace car actually led the top 3 women, including Jess McClain, now 220 marathoner from Boston, astray. She got led the wrong way and missed out on all the prize money and a US title. So I was a part of that race, and I ended up coming in 23rd place. I ran 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 18 seconds, just about 5:03 per mile for 13.1 miles.
Why do you do this?
It's because it feels like what other option do I even have? You've put hours every single week. You've, prioritized yourself and your running needs over other obligations. You turn down opportunities to see your friends so you can recover for your next training session. The value to me is not living with regret. I could walk away right now if I wanted to, tell my kids, I ran 5:09 per mile in the marathon. That's pretty freaking impressive, but I want so much more than that. The desire is just never ending. I'm never satisfied with one performance because I know the next one could be so much better, and it could be a bigger step towards being a true competitive elite or even professional runner. I look at the guys that I'm gonna have to compete against who just raced Boston and ran 2 hours and 4 minutes, even 2 hours and 3 minutes. And I know I need to be better. I need to take the step up. And I wanna be competitive. The competitive drive in me keeps me going every single day. I could look for an excuse, but is anyone else looking for an excuse that I'm gonna have to compete against? The answer is probably no. I'm not in their heads, but based on what you see online, you watch an interview, and these guys have the same mindset. In order to be that level, you need to carry their mindset and outwork them.